Hey folks, what's up? Welcome back, another Pomass video, and today we're going to talk about the N banner rerun, right? And again, he's rerunning, right? It should be night when Tornadoes drops, right? So people are running, well, should I, go for this one, right? And let's talk about it. So for those who are worrying about, oh, do I need N to beat Tornadoes, right? Or whatever. The answer is probably not. Again, we don't have the full details on Tornadoes yet, but I am putting out a video later, about 3 hours or so, from this video, going over what we know about Tornadoes so far, and honestly, it doesn't seem hard at all. Like if everything in that video turns out to be true and there's nothing else weird tricks going on, like you should be able to obliterate Tornadoes with like free-to-play units, right? It really doesn't seem super hard, but if it is, then we'll see otherwise, right? But yeah, you very won't likely need N for that. So for those who are worrying about that, first of all, don't worry about that, right? But anyways, in terms of the unit itself, for those who do want it, right, if you do lack an electric type unit, because like if you have like 3 out of 5 Elisa, you definitely don't need N, right? Especially if you also have like Volkner, right? Or even if you have like Volkner plus like Hau, right? You should be like mostly fine for electric type stuff. Zekrom is just more so if you just really want him, I guess, right? Or if you just really don't have any options with your electric type units, if you're if you're struggling trying to use Hau for some reason, even though again Hau's pretty decent free to play electric type unit, right? Or if you just don't have like Elisa at all, then I guess you could go for N, right? He is on a solo banner, so that is also something else to consider, because usually when reruns happen, they usually rerun on duo or trio banners or whatever, and those are really good because they give you overall higher rates, right? This is just the same rates as your average, spotlight or other, single featured, unit, where the featured unit's only 2%, right? So there's no real boost here. Although 2% is going to be higher than those split banners for the specific unit. So if you specifically want Zekrom, then this would be a good banner to summon on if you don't care about any of the other pokefairs, right? Because next time he comes back probably will be on a shared banner with another pokefair, which again, if it's on a shared banner, you're gonna get higher rates overall generally, right, than a single featured banner. But the single featured banner, again, the advantage of that is you get a higher chance to get the specific character, right? But again, we'll see what that amounts to. Maybe in the future he'll like rerun with like Alder or maybe Champion Iris, right? Because they're from Unova, I guess. Damn, how many Unova folk fairs are there? There's a lot of Unova characters in this game, and there's a lot of Unova characters in general, so it's not super surprising, I guess. But yeah, in terms of the unit itself, if you are wanting to go for him, if you're wondering how many copies do I really need, honestly, 1 copy is good enough, right? You do have some things on his grid. You got like a lot of sync node power-ups, which are nice, right? You got static shock, which is okay, right? Although if you really want like electric sync nuker, Hau is really, I swear, Hau is good enough, right? After some other stuff, you do have a ball strike hostile environment if you want to use that to help paralyze whatever, I guess that helps. It's not a big deal though, but the big deal on his grid, really, in my opinion, is just the move gauge refresh on ball strike, because he is insanely slow. He is incredibly slow, right? But again, he does have some things to help remedy that. Your first attack, once you enter the battle, is free. You don't have to use any move gauges on that. And then the one after your sync is also free. So that does help with your like absolutely atrocious speed, right? And also the move gauge refreshes help as well. But yeah, that's probably like the best thing on this grid. Nothing else is too crazy. I mean, Sure, Confusion Boon 3 if you really want to use him like as a dragon type damage dealer, but like Zinnia's free and Zinnia is miles better than Zekrom for dealing dragon type damage, obviously. So I don't know why you would need to use Zekrom for dragon type damage. Which again, you can use him for dragon type damage. It's just not good, right? Also paralysis energy. It's just like. And even if you really just want to use some dragon type damage, like Confusion Boon is just not like that great, right? Again, paralysis energy is okay, but like Confusion Boon is not great because that means you need to like roll Lesser Confusion on Zekrom, which is only viable if you just don't have any crunchy cookies, right? Which is the one that gives you Crit Strike 2, because overall Crit Strike 2 is just gonna give you much better results, right? Because like Confusion Boon 3 is what 10% more damage than Crit Strike 2 for Outrage. But then again, Crit Strike 2, you could also use that for Bolt Strike and your Sync move, which is the majority of what you'd be using, Zekrom 4, right? But I mean, you got some, like, good, interesting things here and there. Well, I wouldn't say they're interesting, but they're very uninteresting, but they're helpful, right? But none of these are really a big deal. Again, the biggest deals seem like it's just the move gauge refreshes for Bolt Strike, maybe the accuracy, right? But overall, it doesn't seem like a huge deal. But yeah, you do have some other stuff. Again, the extra speed buffs also do help, right? So like, if you construct your team correctly, like his low speed really isn't that big of an issue, right? The upsides for Zekrom is he does a lot. This guy does a lot of damage, right? The Bolt Strike does incredible amounts of damage, right? Really good damage on the Bolt Strike. Again, he can also do some solid damage on his Sync as well. It's just that, again, downside is he is kind of slow, but as long as you like work out a decent team, like Hilbert, right? Hilbert, now that Hilbert's got a grid, Hilbert's a very great companion for Zekrom, right? Hilbert, Zekrom, Luxray, that's a solid team over there, right? That you could run. But yeah, outside of that, it's just everything else is good, right? But you definitely don't need it. I do think 1 out of 5 Zekrom is good enough. With each dupe, you get one more move gauge refresh on Bolt Strike. At 2 out of 5, if you really want, if you have the resources, you can go for that. But like honestly, even if you really want to go for Zekrom, I would probably just caution people just to wait a few days, because like we're nearing the end of the month, which most likely means we're probably gonna get some sort of like Datamined info soon. So at least see what we're getting next month before you make a decision, right? Because next month, we might get some more interesting stuff. I mean, we didn't get a new pokefair this month, so maybe we get one next month, right? Or seasonal maybe, although is there any interesting holidays in May? I don't think so. But yeah, well, again, even if you really do want Zekrom, I'd probably suggest just wait for wait a week or two. We'll get some info on what's coming out next update. But yeah, overall, Zekrom's good, very good, right? He's just not really necessary, right? Especially if you do have Luxray with Raichu or just Substrika, right? You definitely don't really need him. But again, if you like N, which I know a lot of you guys do, right? If you like N, like Zekrom a lot, it's definitely the best banner to get him specifically. So there's that then. Anyways, that's it for this one. Hope you guys enjoyed. Guys, are gonna comment down below, like this video, our channel for some more. I'll see you guys in the next one.